And what we're going to look at here is first the workflows that are set up. So how things get approved, how things get routed. We're also going to have a look at the page setup, so visible fields, hidden fields, required fields, and then we're going to have a quick talk about branding as well. So we'll dive directly into our workflow tool. Let me zoom in slightly. So what we're looking at right here is a fairly simple job requisition workflow. In this workflow, a requisition is created and then it's sent directly to the MSP. Now, perhaps this has been in place for 6 months, a year, who knows? And the client has said, that was all well and good at the start, but actually what I want now is for every new requisition to go off to my HR team. I want them to have approval before anything happens. Well, we can do this together on a screen. We can open up your workflow, we can add a new state in here, and we can say, right, well, this one should be called sent to HR. Done. We don't want this option sent to MSP to be here anymore, so we'll drag that line up here. And the labels on these transitions, that is exactly what's going to appear on the buttons within the system itself. So we'll change that to sent to HR. I almost tripped myself up because I forgot to do that. There we go. And then we're going to draw a line from HR to MSP. We'll call that approve, so the HR user only sees the one option, which will be I want to approve. Now, there's a little bit more that goes into it, because right now only I would be able to see this in the system, but we will go in there and we will control who can see it, who can edit it. We'd then, on the transitions, decide who's allowed to do this, and we'd set that to HR users. But from there, we would save. And once that has saved, I clicked the wrong button, I should have gone back. From there, what we can do. Oh, come on, system, don't let me down. There we go. It's that demo effect, isn't it? It knows I'm doing something live, so. And all of that was just so I could show you this button right here. This is where we could then promote that. And we can choose which environment we're going to send it to, and we can directly place that into your test environments, which then gives you the ability to immediately go in and start testing that out and trying and making sure it all works the way you want it to. The page configurations are very, very similar. So, for example, here we're looking at a preferred candidate form. And in here you can see the simple ones of what's visible or what's not visible, what field is mandatory or not mandatory. But also, you'll see there's a possibility of us creating rules. Now, there's a number of rules here, but we can set up any rule as needed. So, for example, you have one here to say this field can only be seen by MSP users or admin users. Or it could be customer users, MSP, and super users, so therefore not suppliers, for example. We can use this to completely customize how the system looks. You can have really long, complicated forms. You can have incredibly small, streamlined forms as well, and that can be different from role to role. So your manager might see a nice, short, streamlined form. Your MSP might see a much longer one where they record all that extra information that is required. And the last thing we were going to cover there is the branding itself. So, of course, we've spent the part of the demo in this particular demo system, which is using one type of branding. To show you, this actually isn't the same system, it's a different one, but this is a different branding. So different colored toolbars, different colored links, different colored buttons, different banners. And what we can do in the multi-tenant environment is it's not one branding per system. You can have a branding like this per customer. So it could be that you've got one blue collar customer and they want something with pictures of their warehousing or their distribution center as a banner right here. You can have another one which is, say, legal or finance. They want something completely different that matches their corporate website. Absolutely possible. All it is a very slight tweak to the UI that they use to log into the system, and they will then see whatever it is they might want to see or they want you to see.